But tonight, we ain't going out. So we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong. But ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is. But we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives. And the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads. But right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way.
Hello everyone, I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams who are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Black Knights going up against the Broncos. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the London Black Knights and the Denver Broncos. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Oh, look at the juke. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, here's Miller. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. And how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. He's going to fire into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's his first career game, and now he has thrown his first career interception.
So let's face it, that's very simply his welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it?
Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way, and he hopes it'll be the last for this game and not too many in his career.
He'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
First play of the drive, a first down run. That sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. So the D-line's going to spread out. Here's Lynch. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Set, move, Detroit, Detroit. Check 50.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. Looking left sideline, it's complete. 18 yards there and a first down.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
Single receiver, single
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Watch left, watch left.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Surveying the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. And Denver getting set to take the field. After the interception, here's Lynch. And his throw here's incomplete. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be good for a Denver first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
On first down, it's Lynch. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be first down, Denver.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Green, 39.
They go play action here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And let's look defensively at the starters.
When it comes to J.J. Watt, we're about out of superlatives, aren't we? So let's just make this simple. One of the best to ever play the game.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's Lynch to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? He not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. Again, it's Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, They're able to just roam and hit.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney.
Out of the gun now on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on them.
And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 30.
And they'll run it here. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go. Blue, land it.
Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So 2nd and 10 here. Second and 10 now. It's Lynch. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Throwing, Lynch. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Their big tight end, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This is taken at the 3. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They come out here in the eye. And a first carry of the game here for Trey Mason. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They're going to look to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. He won't go down. A huge play there on the screen pass. 45 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types is they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll look to throw now on first down. On the screen, this is Mason. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Here we go now.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to throw.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
To throw on 3rd and goal. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game, get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
That's what I do. Now let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to Denver right after this. Eight yards to go here on 2nd down. It's Lynch. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective, is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On first down, it's Lynch. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos have broken the tie. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on first down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 69 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Watch it now. No. Jack, Patrick.
They'll run here with Mason. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll run for it with Miller. It'll be a gain of 6, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, they won't get the touchdown, but they'll get the next best thing as they're able to convert on 4th down, and they'll be left with a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Here we go now. Check.
They run it with Mason, and he'll actually lose it. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Watch it now, Barney. Let's go. Boom, land it.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 3rd and goal now, so some urgency here. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Lamar Miller taking it in from a yard out. And his guys are going to take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he will find his man on the outside. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's a 1st down for the Broncos.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open. But I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To start the drive to Mason. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and put it
all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there, making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Green, 39. All right, now look at 56. Gun.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Green, 39.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, a heck of a move. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give them the first down. Miller, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. He'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen. And they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Handoff as they run the counter play. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. This time Lynch will throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Fake here on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2nd down following the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over. Right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On play action, they'll throw. Going up top. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken right around the 44. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now it's Lynch. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And McManus had a little too much slice on it. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The drive begins with Mason. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 9 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It's a quarterback sneak. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that penalty will wipe out a big gain by the offense. This one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Look to throw here. Flushed out right. And incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 41 yards. And his guys are going to take the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Detroit!
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle, and he is going to lose yardage here. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Ten-yard penalty there on first down, so now 1st and 20. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
He's back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets it down to the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And they're going to speed things up here.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there, making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter... Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. Shift together here from the D-line.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And this seemingly endless drive continues. 1 receiver left. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Second down now after the incompletion.
Let's go.
Now it's Lynch. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. One last shot for Lynch. And it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock. And an extra point will send us to OT.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up, or do they go for two and try and win it right now?
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the screen, this is Mason. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's fourth down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And they'll go with a ground attack here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now what can Lynch do here in overtime? Incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Lynch. And that is incomplete.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route, tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
A stampede of Broncos there that time combined to get him down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1, eluding the pressure right. Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Green 39! Green 39! 55 is my guy, 55. Watch it now, Barney! Green 39! Green 39!
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now it's Lynch. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This to win it in overtime. And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. And we will play on here in overtime. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go back to the air here after the INT. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Give him credit for batting it away, but unable to come up with the interception. And sometimes that joke does come true. Guys are on defense for a reason. Maybe their hands aren't quite as skillful as the guys on offense, but a lot of credit on that play for just knocking it away.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they were able to get to him on it.
They'll look to throw again. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
So they bring out their punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, That was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. They go play action with Lynch. That is incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Here's Lynch, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good pickup there at 22. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you...
And this is caught at the 20. And he's taken down deep in their territory. A huge play there in overtime. 47 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the red zone now, here's Lynch on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. Once again, it's Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. And he brings it back to the house. It's a touchdown, and in a crazy inning, a defensive score wins it. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one. And to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
Hit the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.